Welcome to Muddy's Whitetail Watch. It's September 9th today, and I'm standing out in my backyard underneath a bur oak tree that has just dropped a ton of acorns. Reach down and just pick them up by the handful. This isn't even a real big mature tree. We talked about it last week, how when these acorns start to fall, we're gonna lose all sight of deer out in the open, and that's basically what's happened during this past week. So if you've got a season that's opening up now, or you're trying to figure out how to find back some of those bucks that disappeared during the summer, start focusing on the acorns. Find the oak trees that are loaded up. Obviously the bur oaks are dropping. I haven't had a chance to get around and check on the others, but I know there's been a few other of the subspecies that I've seen acorns on the ground, but nothing like this. So keep checking the acorns. That's where the action is going to be for almost a month now. So this week I want to talk about something, make a little bit of a departure from deer behavior for a week. There's not a whole lot that's changed from last week to this week. So let's talk about something else this week that might make you a little bit more effective in the tree stand, and that's how to shoot your bow accurately from the elevated position. One of the biggest problems that we see, one of the most common misses, is a high miss. There's a couple reasons why it happens. One is the deer drops at the sound of the shot. He loads up his legs to run off. That's called string jumping. That's going to cause high hits. The other one is just not practicing enough from an elevated position, assuming that your bow is going to shoot the same from a tree stand as what it does on the ground. And they don't necessarily. It depends on a lot of different factors, which I'm not going to get into, but you can't just assume that your bow is going to shoot the same in the tree as it does on the ground. A couple things that you really got to focus on. The bad habit that people have is they get to full draw and they drop their bow arm in order to achieve that downward angle. So now they're shooting like this. Well, that's completely different from the way they've shot on the range, where their bow arm is at a 90-degree angle to their upper body. Now they've got it at a completely different angle. That's going to change the way that their eye sees through the peep sight. So effectively, they've changed their anchor point. You're gonna impact differently when you do that. So you want to make sure that you, from a tree stand, you're going to hit your full draw position, and then you're going to bend at the waist to achieve your downward shot angle. Don't drop your bow arm, bend at the waist. Then you still maintain that same relationship between your peep sight, your eye, the pin, and where the arrow is pointing. But either way, the most important thing is just get out and practice it. Make sure you're achieving that downward angle by bending at the waist. So that's my tip. I want to go over one of the products that we use quite a bit here at Midwest Whitetail, and these are the Muddy climbing sticks. This is the 4-pack of portable sticks, and it really falls into more of a hunting philosophy than just a product category. But if you do a lot of portable hunting, or some people call it hang and hunt, you need something that you can get into the trees with quickly without making a whole lot of noise. With something like this, with 4 sticks, and if you take advantage of any branches that make sense on the way up, you can get high enough to hunt very quickly. You're going to get at least 16 feet up. Some people can stretch that out even further. And the advantage of this is the element of surprise. You want to maintain that as much as you can during the hunting season. You don't want to have the deer know that you're hunting them, because as soon as they figure that out, then they become a lot harder to kill. Anytime you go into a new spot and you hunt it for the first time, you're probably going to see more deer on that first hunt than you might at any other point during the whole season. So you want to have as many of these first hunts as you possibly can. And the easiest way to do that is to change your stand locations every afternoon. Being able to freelance and jump around and try new spots for your afternoon hunts really spreads your pressure out, and it gives you that element of surprise or that first hunt magic in a lot more spots. So having a portable setup like this, taking advantage of these sticks and one of the lightweight Muddy stands, you can pop in and hunt a lot of different spots during the course of the season, and keep each one as fresh as you possibly can, keep the deer moving naturally in those areas, and really increase your success rate. This is also super important when you're hunting public land. Being able to carry them in, set them up quick, carry them out with you is a big deal. So that's it for this week. I got a little bit of shooting tips, a little bit of deer behavior, and another tree stand product review for you. The action's going to start to heat up for us now in the next few weeks as we start getting trail cameras out and finding these bucks back after they left their summer ranges. We got to find where their fall ranges are. I think that's the most exciting part of the season for me. You know, up until now it's been fun and games, but starting about the middle of September, it gets down to the serious business of finding these deer that we're going to hunt in the places where we're going to hunt them. Well, I appreciate you joining me this week. We'll see you right back here again next week for another episode of Muddy's Whitetail Watch.